Hi everyone, my name is Nat Fox from Yogorama, and today we're going to be doing some blue yoga for World Ocean Day for schools. So I like to refer to our body as having an internal sea, and this refers to the water in our body. And we're approximately 70% water, and a lot of this water lives in our connective tissue, so the bits of tissue between the bones and the muscles. And the best way to keep our internal sea healthy and flowing is to move, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're also going to be running through a story as we move, which will connect us to the water cycle from mountaintop all the way down to the ocean. So let's begin starting in mountain position, feet slightly apart. Spread your toes if you can, see some space between the toes. Maybe you can see your blue mat between your toes. Bend your knees slightly and then take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, release out your mouth and let everything relax in your body. Still standing tall in a mountain position though. So with your next breath, we're going to inhale, reach through the fingertips, try and grow tall as much as you can through the arms. Touch the ceiling with your fingertips. Maybe come onto tiptoes and then release. And one more of these where we go as tall as we can possibly go. Inhaling, reach, 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 and then exhaling. Now at the top of the mountain, we will find a waterfall. And that's our next posture. It's linked to the breath. As you inhale, take arms overhead. And as you exhale, fold down over your legs and release with an exhalation. Like a waterfall all the way to the ground. Inhale, let's roll on up, take arms overhead. And as you exhale, gently roll down. Imagine the water cascading over the rocks down into the river. Inhale. Come up again. And exhale, release down to fold forward. Feel your inner sea moving as you breathe and as you stretch. And then coming down with the arms, we're going to move to the front of our mat so that we can come into some different positions. So inhaling, we're going to take the arms up and then exhaling into that waterfall position. Now take your knees down, release your hips all the way to the heels, and then come into a child's pose. So in our story, the waterfall enables the water to start traveling downhill towards the lake. And around the lake, it starts to attract some humans and children. This is child's pose. And also some other animals, some other species. Let's lift up, not far away from the lake. There is a cat and a cow. So we're going to open the chest, lift up through the hips. So this area here, through the pelvis. And then as you exhale, going into the shape of an angry cat, rounding the spine. Nice and gently as you roll on through, inhaling and exhaling. Let's keep going for a little bit longer, making sure that the knees are stable, the hands are stable underneath the shoulders, and you're rounding the spine into a cat and lengthening out the other way into a cow. Okay, so another animal that's around the lake, possibly with the children, is a dog. So for this, we're going to press down into our feet, one at a time. Press down into the hands, and then start to lift up through the back. So this means we're stretching out the back of the body, stretching out the back of the legs. And if you want, you can make some barking dog noises. Take a few more breaths here. And if isn't feeling very kind to your wrists, then just take a little rest, come back to child's pose. And it's a great way to move between the two postures. Up to dog, and then down to child. Next posture, of course, is always going to be a frog by the lake. So bringing your feet to the mat, bending your knees deeply, and then taking your knees wide. Coming into frog pose. Hands can come down onto the mat. Allow yourself to go to the right, go to the left. If you want, you can take a few little froggy hops. Remember to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Taking one more breath here. And then we'll move back all the way down onto our belly. So in the long grass around the side of the lake, there was a snake. So this is the position for the snake. You want legs to be strong, pressing into the mat. Hands can come underneath the shoulders and start to press in. Opening the chest. Looking forward and stretching out, again, the back of the body. Finding that space, that place for your spine that is good, that feels good. And you can make your snake quite active. The snake can be asleep, so you can be down here. Taking 2 more breaths in your snake pose with a bit of a hiss. And releasing out. And this is a very special lake. So the next animal we come across is a dolphin, a river dolphin that's made its way up into the lake. So for this posture, we want the forearms and the hands to be down. We want your elbows to be shoulder width apart. And you can do that by measuring with your hands. So we'll keep the hands there and then lifting up through the knees and through the hips, the pelvis, the bum. This is dolphin pose. Much harder than dog pose. So bring yourself down to child's. Rest here for a moment. Release your head. Now, if you can do any dolphin sounds, this is the time. I'm afraid that is beyond me, but I would love to hear your dolphin sounds. And now this river dolphin starts to leave the lake, begins to travel down the river in the direction of the sea. So it starts to swim. And with our dolphin stance, we're going to lift up through the legs. We're going to lift up through the arms. Woo. This is how the dolphin is going to get all the way to the sea. So as you inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. This is hard. Keep going. 2 more. Inhale and release. And then this is the last one. And release. So let's turn over onto our front. Because as we get closer to the ocean, we come across a boat. And this is boat pose. We're bending the knees. We're sitting down, but lifting our spine tall. And then with your hands under your knees, you might be able to start to bring your feet up. It might be all wobbly, and that's okay. If that's the case, bring your toes down, the heels down, and stay here. If you've got the balance, start to bring your legs up. Remember to breathe. And then, if you can, start to take your hands away. Ooh, I need to bring them back quickly. Staying here for a few more breaths. The boat pose, and then bringing the feet down, and then starting to walk the hips towards the heels so that you can come all the way down. So that boat starts to go underneath the bridge before it can reach the ocean. It's very close. And this is our bridge posture. We're going to lift up at the hips, press them up towards the ceiling, and we come into bridge. Now for this posture, it's really important to keep your head and neck straight. So don't look at the screen, look at your knees, and then begin to press into your feet and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. That's your bridge posture. Take a few breaths here. Can you stay here and concentrate and allow your body to just be in the position without moving, without struggling? It's difficult, it's challenging. Taking one more breath. And as you do, come all the way back to the mat with the hips. And we've made it to the ocean. And here we start to feel some movement of the swell. There's some waves. And these are the knees going across to the side, moving our lower back. So we can do this. We're going to go all the way across to the right side with the knees. And a big wave, drawing the left arm out and maybe taking the gaze in the same direction as your arm. You've made it all the way from the mountaintop down to the sea. And now we're in the waves. We're going to bring the knees up and across to the other side. Waves are coming in from the left, coming in from the right. Lots of energy in the swell today. And then bringing the knees up. Let's take our hands to the knees so we can move the knees around in circles. Just like the waves are moving the water, the currents, all the animals that live in the ocean. They feel that flow. The whole world is moving with the tides and with the energy in the water. So going the other way with the knees. And then finally, there's a really big wave. So extend the feet up towards the sky, the biggest wave. You can see, can you reach and touch your toes? Reach, 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 touch your toes. And then it's all gone quiet in the ocean. So we're going to come into our resting posture where we allow the feet to be wide, the palms to face up. And now we relax and we imagine ourselves just gently floating on the surface. All the waves have disappeared and now it's just flat and calm and peaceful. Now take your right hand to your belly, so around the space where your rib cage stops. So this is where we can really feel a deep breath. And in yoga we have an ocean breath where we can hear the sound of the breath. But let's just practice a round of the ocean breath where you just listen to the sound of your breath. With the mouth closed, what can you hear about your breath? Can you see how it might sound like the ocean when you really focus on the inhalations and on the exhalations? And then releasing the hands. Now the surface of the ocean is completely still. So can you be completely still in lots of waves, lots of movement, lots of animals, and now we go to stillness. And you really relax your body and your mind so that you can find stillness here. And then we begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. There's starting to be some movement through the ocean again. Take a big stretch, arms overhead, bring the knees in. Feel the waves start to move. And then roll over to the right side and press yourself all the way up to seated in this position. Let's imagine our spine to be like a wave. We'll go around to one side, the other side, to the back, to the front. Whichever way your spine wants to move. Can you still hear the sound of your breath, the ocean breath, to connect you to the ocean? Final few waves through the spine before finding that stillness once again. This time in a seated position. A couple of breaths. And then we press palms together to bring our gratitude to the front of our heart and to share our love with ourselves, with each other, and with the ocean. Finishing with namaste. Namaste, everyone. So thank you so much for joining me for some blue yoga, ocean-themed yoga. Have a wonderful World Ocean Day for schools. Namaste.